Do you remember that super viral desk chair, the LiberNovo Omni? In fact, the one I've got right here. Now, I made a video about this on the channel earlier on in the year, around January time. I don't know if you saw that. If you want to go check that out, there'll be a link up somewhere around here. But in today's video, we're not talking about that. LiberNovo are back and they've made some big changes. In fact, the chair I'm sitting in right now is their brand new LiberNovo Maxis. Well, one of the LiberNovo Maxis. I'll explain more about that later on in the video. And I've been using this chair for about a week or two, and in this video I'm going to go through the changes they've made and why the LiberNovo Maxis may actually be the one for you instead of the LiberNovo Omni. So let's check it out. So LiberNovo actually reached out to me, told me about this brand new Maxis chair they're releasing, asked me if I'd be interested in a collaboration, and well, because it's made for bigger people, I was all in. But not only that, because they improved on them certain compartments and made them upgrades that a lot of people were actually asking about from the original LiberNovo Omni, I figured it would be a win-win because it was something the audience wanted to see and it was something I could experience and tell the audience about, answer any questions, etc. As well as the Maxis manual that I've got here, they actually released 2 more Maxis chairs and also 2 Omni chairs, which I'll show you on screen now. But the one I've got here is the Maxis manual for a specific reason. So they've got the Omni SE, the Omni Pro, the Maxis Electric, the Maxis Airflow and the Maxis Manual. Now the Maxis Electric is the same as the LiberNovo Omni in terms of electronic features, with most of the differences being in the design and weight capabilities. The Maxis Airflow comes in a different material and also it's got a built-in fan for cooling and seat ventilation. But to me, the most important one and the one I selected was the Maxis Manual. Now some of you might say, that is the most basic one, and yeah, you are right, it is the most basic model, and that's exactly why I chose it. Now when I released my video about the LiberNovo Omni back in January, there was an overwhelming amount of people who loved the chair, but they wanted the manual version for 2 different reasons. One was because of the electronic components and the 2-year warranty you'd get with it, and 2, being the price being quite high, so having a manual version should bring down the price and make it more affordable for a lot more people out there. And you know, I could have easily gone for the more expensive models, the Maxis Airflow or the Maxis Electric, but I figured those are not the models that my audience is interested in. That's why I went for the Maxis manual model, because it has the manual controls and the lower price point. So I figured it's going to be the one most people are interested in and the one that most of the audience are probably going to go for. Now let me know if I made the right decision in the comments box below or if I made the wrong decision. So when you put the LiberNovo Omni and the LiberNovo Maxis side by side, it is very apparent and it becomes very clear which one is made for bigger people. Just taking a look at the backrest on the LiberNovo Maxis, it is a lot wider, that offers a lot more support for bigger people when it comes to the back and shoulders. And then the LiberNovo Omni, while it's still a very comfortable chair, has a much more tapered design. You still get the flexible headrest that moves up and down, moves forward and back very easily, and it also tilts to get you to that perfect position. Now taking a look at the armrests, they are actually redesigned from the LiberNovo Omni. Now they still move up and down, forward and back, and they swivel. Something to note is, although the swivel motion has been slightly tightened to not move as easy on the LiberNovo Omni, because on the LiberNovo Omni, the armrests do swivel pretty easily, and it was something a lot of people complained about. On the Maxis, at least on this model I've got here, they are only ever so slightly tightened, so it's only ever so slightly harder to make them swivel. Something also to keep in mind, something I forgot to mention earlier on in the video, is the Maxis model I have here is kind of like a pre-production model, so it is like 90% complete of what you're going to get when you actually, if you order the LiberNovo Maxis. So in terms of the design, I don't think anything will be changing on the chair, but some of the mechanics and stuff may still be improved for the final version that gets shipped out to consumers. So just something to keep in mind. Something else that has been improved from the LiberNovo Omni is, because this chair is made for bigger people, they've actually increased that seat depth from 48 centimeters, that was the max size you could get on the LiberNovo Omni, to now 52 on the LiberNovo Maxis. As well as that, the seat is wider and you can definitely feel that you have a lot more surface area to plant your butt down when you sit on this chair. Now when you look underneath the chairs, you can really see the difference when it comes to the seat depth. So that's the LiberNovo Omni at 48 centimeters, and then we've got the LiberNovo Maxis at 52 centimeters. So the difference is quite large on that cushion at the front, and although you do really feel it when you sit on it, when you see it like this from underneath, it gives you a little bit more perspective on how much more cushion you get. And because this is the Maxis manual version, instead of having the electronic motor like we have on the LiberNovo Omni here that adjusts the OmniStretch and lumbar support, we've got a wheel here that does pull out for easy access. You've got a minus and a plus to twist and decide how prominent you want the lumbar support to be. And then once you're done, you just push it back in, and it's got this nice see-through housing here. So when you are actually twisting it, you can see it move, which looks pretty cool. But very easy to use, and like I said, push it back when you're not using it and you're good to go. And then underneath the Maxis, we've got the tension rod for obviously adjusting the tension on the recline level, easily adjustable with the plus and minus. Something that is super impressive is obviously because the Maxis is made for bigger people, they've upgraded this section for where the wheels actually click into the base to a solid piece of aluminum. So you might even be able to hear it when I tap on it. Now that is a strong piece of equipment, and that is made obviously because of the higher weight limits of the LiberNovo Maxis. And the final thing you might be able to see is I've actually upgraded the wheels on my LiberNovo Maxis to these ones you can get on their website. Makes for a much nicer flow around the studio moving about. The original wheels are not bad, but I just like the way these feel a lot better. And you can get them in different colors depending on which chair you get, because I have even got them on my LiberNovo Omni. So another really big improvement for the LiberNovo Maxis is the recline modes. Now on the LiberNovo Omni, we had 4 recline modes, and we had 105 degrees, then it jumped to 125, then 135, and then 160 degrees if you want to lay back and take advantage of that OmniStretch massage. That jump from 105 degrees to 125 degrees was pretty drastic, because 105 you was almost straight up, then 125 you were going back but almost too far back to be able to relax nicely to get work done. Now with the LiberNovo Maxis, they've actually introduced 5 recline modes. So we've got 105 degrees, 115 is the new one, then it goes 125, 135, 160. And I've got to say that 115 degrees addition makes everything so much better. And speaking of recline levels, I've got to say we still have that dynamic support system for the headrest and the armrests to move in sync with you no matter at what recline mode you go on the chair. It is a nice little touch, but I really do like it because it's nice knowing that when I recline back, that the headrest is going to be the perfect position for my neck that I've adjusted previously. Same goes for the armrests. And you know, something that does not get mentioned enough is when you sit in a chair, you go to recline it, and you feel like, yep, this is it. This is how I go, getting thrown back into a brand new realm. And I've had that happen way too many times. Let me know if that's happened to you as well. Luckily with the LiberNovo chairs, they've kind of fixed that. So they put a 6-spring recline system in the bottom. So when you do recline, no matter what weight you are, no matter what angle you're reclining at, gives you a nice smooth movement every single time. So no more mini heart attacks. So which one should you get? The LiberNovo Maxis, LiberNovo Omni? When it comes to me specifically, the LiberNovo Maxis is definitely the right choice. Luckily for you, they've got the LiberNovo Omni in them 2 new different versions. So the LiberNovo Omni SE, which comes with the manual controls. So if you want a cheaper price and manual controls, that might be the one for you. Or if you want to go for the new and upgraded LiberNovo Omni Pro, which has a bunch of other features added to it, that might be another option for you. Like I said, the LiberNovo Maxis also comes in 3 different ways: the manual, the airflow, and the electric. So there's definitely a chair for everyone, and for a company like LiberNovo that is brand new, that's very impressive. So if you want to check any of them out, they should be live on the website as I've got this video out, and check the link in the description box below, as well as the comments if you want to go grab one. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments box below. If you liked the video, remember to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as it helps grow and get the channel pushed out to more people. So it's always a good thing. And as always, I do very much appreciate you watching this video. Appreciate you leaving comments and stuff like that. So I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day.